So what is non-probability sampling? So here in non-probability sampling, we don't go for with chance mechanism. Here we go for choosing mechanism. Means the researcher is having the liberty to choose the respondent for the particular study. So used when you want to say something about discrete means different phenomenon or a process or a event, a few selected cases. So the number in probability sampling is very few, and when we want to answer the how and the why questions. The first type of non-probability sampling is convenience sampling. So as the name suggests, convenience sampling means the sample which is convenient for us, easy for us to select. So this method is used because it is not so much expensive, and we use those respondents which are readily available or convenient according to the purpose of study. So next type of non-probability sampling is judgment sampling. Now what is judgment sampling? It is the extension of convenience sampling, and as a researcher I make the judgment that these samples are true representative of that particular population upon which I really want to study. So this will be judgment sampling. So judgment sampling belongs to the judgment of the researcher on the basis of research. Next one is quota sampling. Quota sampling is also a non-probability sampling equivalent to stratified sampling. So in this stratified sampling or quota sampling, why it is simply representing stratified sampling? When we are going to conduct a qualitative study on a heterogeneous population and we want representative from each groups, then we go for quota sampling. So first I will identify graduate students or postgraduate students or secondary school students. So that will be our strata, and then we will go with the judgment sampling. So quota sampling is mixture of, first we have to decide the level on which we want to do the study, and then finally we will go according to our convenience or judgment. So here I have given one example. So there are number of students from different discipline. One is performing arts, next one is natural science, another one is humanities, business and social science. So number of students. So this is the population of those students, 300, 300, 600 and 500 respectively. So what I am going to do, the ratio between all these four groups will be 3:3:6:5. So the total of addition of these ratios will be 17. So I will go for 25 students in quota sampling. So this is how it is done. So next non-probability sampling is snowball sampling. So snowball sampling is done when the desired sample characteristic is very rare. Suppose if we are going to do on population which is not common, which is not readily available, then we go for snowball sampling. Now if we want specifically children with disability, rare disability, for example autistic children, so we don't know. So what does the snowball sampling do? Suppose somehow we came to know about 1 or 2%, then these 1 or 2% will recommend further 2 or 3% which they know because they belong to that particular niche or small circle, and then I will keep on going and identifying a small number of individuals till I reach the saturation level which I really want in my sample. Saturation level means the number of people which I really need in my study. So this is snowball sampling. So next one is purposive sampling. So we know qualitative studies are generally done to find out the particular characteristic or typicality of a particular population. So when we want to select a sample, it must represent the purpose of the study. So that those individuals which are having all the characteristics which I required for my study will be picked up in the sample, because they are going to serve the purpose of my study. So this will be the purposive sample. So before we were identifying the elements of the sample on the basis of people. Here we identify first the dimension which we want to study or we want to do the research on it, and then we collect the samples on the basis of those dimensions which we want to incorporate in our research. So we will collect at least one representative or one respondent of every combination of those factors. So when we are having number of dimensions to study and we collect the people, or we select the people on the basis of representation of those dimensions. So if here we are not selecting the people, here dimensions are selecting criteria, or the study objectives are selecting criteria. So next one is volunteer sampling. Now volunteer sampling means we want to conduct a study and we allow the people to voluntarily participate in those studies. So volunteers are those people, either personal friends or friends of friends or participants who reply to a newspaper advertisement, or those who happen to be interested from a particular school, or those attending course. So they themselves comes for the study. We just provide them information and they show up by themselves. So that will be a volunteer sampling. So this one is the most typical type of sampling. Here in theoretical sampling, it is a basic feature of grounded theory. So in grounded theory, there is no sample size, fixed sample size better to say. And what we do, our sample size is very much large, or it is infinitely large. And what we do, we keep on collecting the data till it satisfies all the conditions, or no more conditions will be added, no more categories will be formed. So this will be the typicality. So that's why it is called theoretical, because it is mainly based on data.